Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 28th day of November 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please be extremely cautious, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle. Please ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you have celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable, and to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. And this morning, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to the family of Mr. Siebert Wood, who passed away as well known in the Cayman Islands in many circles, as well. And we want to extend our sincere condolences to his family. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we want to wish you a speedy recovery as well. And a friend of mine who was overseas having some eye surgery done, on his way, or should be on his way back home this morning, want to wish him safe travels and a speedy recovery as well. So folks, with that, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, phone lines are open. If you are calling from a flow number, then there is a toll-free number to accommodate you, which means that your call is free of charge. That number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-32 2061 as well. No guest in the studio yet. May have a guest later on. Didn't receive final confirmation, but we will wait and see. Meanwhile, we want to hear the voice of the people of the Cayman Islands as well. There may be something that you want to talk about. But before we go there, let's look at the birthdays and see what we can share with you. So this was sent out yesterday morning. Of course, I don't think that there are any birthday shout-outs. We see yesterday that greetings were sent out to Mr. Hubert Walker, coming from his loving mother, Sasha Carter, and loving grandmother, Venice Johnson. May you have a blessed day and may your dreams come true. So that was for yesterday. And of course, we have birthday shout outs today. Mr. Phil Jackson celebrating his birthday today. Also, Paul Challenger celebrating a birthday, and Layman Scott celebrating his birthday today as well. Let me check to make sure. Upcoming ones tomorrow, Lavonna Johnson celebrating her birthday. Juanita Smith McLaughlin celebrating a birthday tomorrow. And Miss Ruth Ann Young also celebrating a birthday tomorrow as well. And we have birthday greetings going out to Miss Elmitha Connolly, coming from your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren with lots of love for a special day. And for those of you who don't know it, then Miss Elmitha Connolly is the mother of our own Miss Paulette Connolly right here at Radio Cayman as well. So happy birthday greetings going out to Miss Elmitha Connolly, coming from your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren with lots of love for a special day. That special day being Friday the 28th of November 2025. So, like I said this morning, we want to hear the voice of the people of the Cayman Islands. You may have something in particular that you may want to talk about, or we can discuss what's in the headlines of our local newspaper, one of our local papers, The Compass. One headline article: Will Cayman have the world's most expensive driver's license? One may wish to debate or to critique the reasons for the increase. Some may argue that the increase is for government to obtain additional revenue, and there's no denying the fact that more revenue will be generated by this. But I do believe also that the government is listening to the voice of the people of the Cayman Islands and their concerns about the traffic situation in our islands, the driving conditions, the lack of experience, of drivers as well. And one may retort and say, well, how will increasing the cost of driver's license for non-Caymanians, how will that contribute to better driving conditions? That can all be debated, as well. So you may want to talk about that. Driver's license in the Cayman Islands. There are some jurisdictions where, unless you're a resident there, and for instance, you in the U.S., green card holder, in order for you to get a driver's license. So there are restrictions in other countries, as well. Here, we say you'll have the ability to get a driver's license, but you're going to pay for it, and you're going to pay more than a Caymanian would pay as well. Also in the news, expert global concerns driving the U.S. troop buildup in the Caribbean. Folks, we're not hearing a whole lot about this coming from our regional partners. Not a whole lot. We see where certain jurisdictions, for instance, the Dominican Republic, I believe, given access to U.S. aircraft from some of their air bases that normally they would not allow that. We see, concessions being made by Trinidad as well, and not wanting to get into the whole global situation. But we know what happens when there is conflict, military conflict in countries. You get people fleeing from those countries, which means then they have a profound impact on their neighbors as far as refugees are concerned as well. So I haven't been following what CARICOM has been saying and CARICOM has been doing, on this. If we use the 1980s when Grenada was invaded, of course, many of the Caribbean countries went along with that. But there could be serious consequences, as far as the movement of people is concerned. So we could talk about that. We could talk about the deadly bacteria outbreak that has worsened in post-hurricane Jamaica. That is another article in the Compass, as well as the police pledging sister islands blitz on crime. Cayman's non-oil imports jumped in the second quarter. That's a report from I would imagine that's coming from the Economics and Statistics Office. But the BRAC, let's talk about the BRAC. We see stories coming out of the BRAC, persons being arrested for drugs, large quantities of money being found, on them as well. Folks, if things are not taken in hand, and that includes not only the police, but the constituents, the population, the people of the BRAC as well, we have to be careful that we don't end up ruining, spoiling one of the gems of this three-island nation, quote-unquote nation, that we have here. We have to address this situation in the BRAC before it gets out of hand. Some may say it is already out of hand. Well, we see what has happened over here in Grand Cayman. If we use traffic as an example, how things can quickly get out of hand. It needs to be addressed. We get people calling in, talking about flights from the BRAC and other things. You have to be concerned about the quality of life there and the whole issue of crime and in particular drugs as well. With that, we're going to take our first commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
The Bay Islands of the northern shores of Honduras, including Utila, Rotan, and Guanaja or Panaca, along with the islets of Elaine, Barbarat, and Murat, saw a rather rapid and dramatic settlement of Caymanians following emancipation in the Cayman Islands. By 1858, when the full census of the Bay Islands was taken, the population was 1,548, just shy of the population of the Cayman Islands. Of the 1,548 permanent settlers, nearly 40% or 600 were born in the Cayman Islands, with another 300 born in the Bay Islands to Caymanian parents. In total, 60% of the Bay Islands population was in effect of Caymanian birth or roots. Color and class was the prominent social hierarchy, more so than the Cayman Islands, with 319 whites to 1,229 non-whites.
Information from this historical vignette was sourced from Founded Upon the Seas, A History of the Cayman Islands and Their People by Michael Creighton and the New History Committee.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets, sizzling hot and moving. Get your tickets now. Grand prize $40,000. Second prize $4,000. 6 $1,000 prizes. Sellers prizes up to $5,000. Get your $25 ticket from Rotary Central members. Rotary ticket sellers across Cayman. Eventpro.ky. Funky Tangs, Shudden Road. Rotarian Annie Rose Scott in Cayman Brack. A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Georgetown. And other locations. Rotary Central Cayman Islands. Supporting more than 70 projects across our community, across the Cayman Islands. The 30th annual Rotary Central Music Extravaganza, Saturday, November 29. Jamming with Sugar Daddy, Los Tropicanos, and musical crew at Salty's Harbor Grill, Red Bay. Your ticket, your chance through Rotary Central.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
This summer, happiness is better when you share it. Coca-Cola invites you to share a Coke with someone special. Grab an ice-cold Coke and find a name. Maybe theirs, maybe yours, maybe a surprise. Because nothing says you matter like sharing a smile and a Coke. So who will you share a Coke with today? Find your name, find your friends, and share a Coke. Available now. Stores island-wide.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
This is For the Record.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so we want to continue to hear the voice of the people of the Cayman Islands. One of our listeners, in response to my comments about the BRAC, said, "Good morning, Mr. O.C. I would really love you to come on the BRAC and see what is happening in the 25 mile per hour zone. How can a police station be right in plain sight and all this lawlessness be taking place? What a shame." And folks, if you don't nip it in the bud, it's going to spread like a cancer. Let's go to our phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Good morning, OC.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I'm so determined and happy to engage you in the mornings that I call 18 times.
No, people have to bear with us here. We're trying to be as seamless as possible, but there are lots of things going on, as far as renovation is concerned. So it's almost like a makeshift situation that we have here, but we're doing our best, and we're just asking our listeners to please bear with us.
Okay. You touch on what I wanted. I had plans on calling in concerning the hike and the fee for the driver's license for non-Caymanians.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fighting that down, if it were me, I would put it to 1,200, right? But what I'm wondering, if the authorities, the lawmakers have considered policing that, because we'll see, there's a lot of people now that are not driving that have expired driver's license, waiting to get paid to renew their driver's license, but at the same time, they're still driving. So I'm wondering now if we're going to have some roadblocks and the likes to make sure that these people are paying and keeping their license up to date. Because remember now, we'll see, no license, no insurance, even though your car might be insured, but if you don't have a driver's license, you cannot drive a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So no license, no insurance. So that could cause a major problem. We'll get a lot of this thing where people hit somebody and, as you heard about it before, jump in the car and run.
Yeah.
And leave the car there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to also consider raising the fee, but also take into consideration that a lot of people might just not be able to pay it at the time and still continue to drive. So that is one thing we can have a look into to save a lot of innocent people on the street.
Yep.
Another one, OC, you touch on the BRAC. I think they're allowing kind of people into the BRAC at a particular time, especially through work permit. And I think that those work permits should be approved here in the Cayman Islands instead of in the BRAC. That's another thing. Another one, OC, I understand that NAU budget is up past 20 million. Is that correct?
Well, I believe what they have attempted to do in this budget is that they look at the supplementary funding that they have to every year that they have to go back to Parliament to seek supplementary funding. So they're trying to make the budgetary process and the numbers be as close as possible to what is actually going to be spent, even though in some instances it hasn't reached it, because you're making estimates when it comes to budget, but they're trying to get it closer to that. So while we see an increase, it simply means that hopefully they will have to go back and ask for less later on, before the next budget session year.
Okay, but see, like you said, we should have nipped that in the bud long time ago when David Rich were the chairman of the Cayman Protection Board, when he warned us about becoming a welfare state.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think OC, and not being prejudiced on this, but I don't think that we, as a small nation, should have imported poverty. That's exactly what we did. OC, we should have put some stipulation in getting residents or status, whatever you want to call it, where if you are successful in getting a status to remain in the Cayman Islands, you will not be entitled to no social handout. You need to be able to sustain yourself. If you're coming here to live, you need to be able to sustain yourself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because, or see, if you was to go, I go and look. I was there yesterday, and I had an argument. One of the staff accused her of giving the Cayman people money, in a joking way.
Okay,
but OC, a lot of the people I don't recognize. So how, OC, are we going to allow people to come here to live, knowing quite well that those people cannot sustain themselves in one of the most expensive places in the world to live?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
well, that is why
fees.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that is why we have revamped the immigration legislation, and that some of the new things coming into effect will take into consideration these issues, like, for instance, the number, the ability of persons on work permits to have dependents here, revamping the whole point system as far as permanent residents, is concerned as well. And I still believe, and, we can't always follow what the U.S. does, but I still believe we see where now Trump is talking, about basically shutting off green card provisions for certain jurisdictions. It is not unreasonable for us to say at this point in time that we're going to put a hold on the granting of permanent residence and Caymanian status until we are able to catch up and resolve the situation that we have. Because if we continue to try to resolve it and at the same time leave the door ajar, then we're going to end up with a problem. Lord Graham, got to go to our 8 o'clock news, but please feel free to call back. Not sure whether or not we're going to have any guests in the studio. If not, the phone lines will be open all morning. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now is 2 minutes past 8, brought to you with the kind compliments of Foster's.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Busy few days for police as they investigate a guns case in Cayman Brac and the theft of several music extravaganza raffle ticket books. Back on November 15th, Cayman Brac police officers were sent to an incident at a local food truck where a man picked a fight with staff, making threats with what appeared to be a gun. During the investigation, police arrested a 40-year-old who was subsequently charged with possession of an imitation firearm, threats to kill, causing fear or provocation of violence, and a harassment, alarm, and distress. He appeared in court on Thursday. Separately, police got a report made on behalf of Rotary Central Cayman Islands that 5 ticket books containing a total of 50 raffle tickets for the Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tomorrow had been stolen and were being sold to members of the public. Wednesday night, officers arrested a 59-year-old man. Rotary Central has also advised they will not be validating the tickets in question. So if you bought a ticket with numbers 01451 through 01500, you need to call 949-4222 or visit the Georgetown Police Station. You can also email imbodden.racd7020@gmail.com for more information. It may have been all about the letters in the early half of the week with this year's junior and senior spelling bees, but the latter half of the week is all about the numbers. And with those pencils slamming down, the held breaths blew out in relief as students competed in the individual division of the Minds-inspired Math Challenge at the Sir Vassal Johnson Hall at the UCCI campus on Thursday.
It's been very hard. I didn't think it was going to be this hard, actually.
What kind of questions are you getting?
It was a few that I actually didn't learn because I think they were more year 9 because it's generalized through 7 to 9. But most of them, I think I did do quite well.
The starter questions are really hard. Some of the questions I could do, but a lot of them are really, really hard.
Any fun?
It was kind of fun, actually, though.
Is this your first time coming?
No.
So how does this compare to the previous ones?
The last one was actually, I think the questions were a lot easier because you're doing it in a team.
Kiddos in years 7, 8, and 9 from 8 schools, including homeschoolers, did get to battle it out team style after the first round, though, with school and mixed team time trials to find out who was the strongest mathlete of all. Senior Manager of Education Programs at DART, Glenda McTaggart.
This is our 13th event. So yes, we have a long record of having this math competition. It's a lot of fun for the kids. If you love math, this is definitely the place to be because it gives the students who are mathematically inclined a real opportunity to shine.
First place winners were CIS's Harris Boca for Year 7, Cayman Prep's Harris Ahmad for Year 8, who was also the overall winner, and Triple C's Luca Yates took the top spot in Year 9. In the school team event, it was St. Ignatius in first, followed by CF School. Action continues today with a senior division, that's years 10 through 13, who'll get tougher questions and rapid fire rounds. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. The fire service in Hong Kong says the fire alarms were not working properly in the tower blocks where the territory's worst blaze in decades has happened. Around 130 people are confirmed to have died in the fire. The Hong Kong authorities say it appears to have started in the protective netting surrounding the buildings, which were being renovated. President Trump had said he'll permanently pause immigration from what he called third world countries in a strongly worded attack on US immigration policy. The comments come after one of 2 young National Guard soldiers, allegedly shot by an Afghan gunman on Wednesday, died from her wounds. Hundreds of people are now known to have died in flooding which struck South and Southeastern Asia this week. The Indonesian island of Sumatra was the worst affected place. Ukraine's anti-corruption authorities say they're searching the offices of Andriy Yermak, President Zelensky's chief of staff. It's the latest in a series of arrests in recent months. Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban is in Moscow to discuss energy issues with Vladimir Putin. The country depends on Russia for oil and gas, and Mr. Orban says he's been given an exemption from US sanctions on Russia, which allows him to continue with imports. State media in Syria say that 13 people, including women and children, have been killed in an Israeli raid on a village in the south of the country. The Israeli military says the operation was aimed at arresting members of a Syrian armed group. That's the latest world news from the BBC.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is urging the public to ensure all travel documents are valid and accessible in preparation for severe weather. Residents should check the validity of their passports, collect passports, waivers, and special marriage licenses from the office, and store important documents in waterproof containers. For more information, contact 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Synopsis indicate a frontal system located across southwest Florida will become stationary west of the Cayman area this afternoon. As a result, an increase in cloudiness with the possibility of a few isolated showers will occur alongside moderate winds and seas. Satellite analysis indicates scattered patches of low-level clouds with isolated convection in and around the Cayman area. Now, the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies, becoming cloudy at times, with a 40% chance of showers from the afternoon with possible thunder. Temperatures will rise near the mid-80s with a heat index of 93 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures falling to the upper 70s tonight. Winds will be northeasterly at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Today's low tide will occur this morning at 9:58, high tide this afternoon at 11 minutes past 4, and a low tide again tonight at 10:56. The sun will set this evening at 5:44 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:42. And the outlook is calling for the possibility of isolated showers lingering across the northwest Caribbean through early weekend. Tomorrow, moderate to rough seas are expected as a ridge of high pressure builds in the wake of the front across the northwest Caribbean. A small craft advisory is expected to be issued tomorrow. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Wait, why is she going into that spooky house? Who's that creepy old guy? And where are her friends? Why is she going in the basement? Nothing good is down there, sis. I bet you the creepy caretaker did it. Did you see his fake eye? Okay, maybe not the caretaker.
Hush.
You hush. I'm solving a mystery.
We're like the person who doesn't ruin the movie. CG Britcade. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
It's big. It's huge. The final call clearance sale at Rocky's Diamond is on now. 65% off on over 250 stunning pieces. Check out their selection on all final call pieces at rockysdiamonds.com and on their socials. 65% off diamond rings, necklaces, earrings, and more. Visit Rocky's Diamonds at 28 North Church Street, Waterfront Center. Don't wait till Black Friday, because Rocky's Diamonds has incredible deals for everyone on now. Whether you're treating yourself or surprising someone special, you name it. Perfect gifts, perfect prices, and just in time for the holidays. These prices won't ever be seen again. Rocky's Diamonds clearance sale on now.
There's nothing more important than your health, and seeking expert healthcare with physicians you can trust is what you deserve. UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, offers peace of mind to you and your family with a first-class experience. Our patient coordinators assist with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. As South Florida's only academic-based health system, UHealth offers cutting-edge treatment, compassionate care, and life-changing results just a flight away. Learn more at umiamihealth.org/international.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Top of the morning, let's check in with traffic, see what's slowing, what's flowing. Further up on Shamrock Road, traffic is moderate. Further down, different story, as traffic steady as you approach the Linford-Pearson Highway. Coming off of the Linford-Pearson Highway on Agnes Way, steady traffic, as well as Barbara Thompson Way. Traffic is slow moving on Crew Road, heading to Georgetown, and heading east on Crew Road. Traffic moving on pretty good on Crew Road. Coming off of the Esteli-Tibbetts Highway, traffic is moderate. And continuing on to North Sound Road, Industrial Park area, flowing at a good pace. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions and coming from the West Bay four-way stop. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing at a good pace in both directions. Edward Street, no issues there as traffic is light to moderate, as well as Owen Roberts Drive. If you've seen accidents or incidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6998. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Starting January 1, 2026, the minimum wage in the Cayman Islands will increase to CI $8.75 per hour. This change is designed to ensure fair pay and to support workers across the islands. Whether you're an employee or an employer, it is important to understand how this adjustment affects you. Learn more about the new rate, how it's applied, and what it means for your workplace by visiting gov.ky/DLP or email minimumwage@gov.ky.
The wait is over. The crown awaits. The Lions and Leos Club of Grand Cayman proudly present the 42nd Miss Teen Cayman Islands pageant, returning August 8th, 2026. Are you bold, talented, and ready to shine? If you're between the ages of 15 and 18, this is your moment to step forward, showcase your brilliance, and embrace the journey of a lifetime. Visit the Miss Teen Cayman Instagram and Facebook pages for registration details. The crown is calling. Will you answer? Brought to you by the Lions and Leos Club of Grand Cayman.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so we want to hear the resounding voice of the people of the Cayman Islands on whatever topic that you want to discuss, as long as it is fit for discussion on air. We have a toll-free number if you're calling from a flow number. That number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990, WhatsApp number 925-3261. While off air, one of our listeners inquired about permanent residence, and a person who has acquired, and I call any names, I won't identify anyone, I will just present the scenario to you. So a person who obtains permanent residents in the Cayman Islands with the right to work, and the provisions for loss of that permanent residence as well. So when we look at the particular section of our Immigration Transition Act 2022 revision and Section 36, subsection 4, it talks about the fact that a person who is a British Overseas Territory citizen by virtue of a connection with the islands, by registration, by entitlement under the British Nationality Act 1981. And folks, that British Nationality Act, while it is useful to a certain extent in terms of allowing us to obtain British citizenship, if we want, I will say so, and I will continue to say so, say that because we have no input. Now, whether or not we have no input because we have never sought any input, or the UK has never asked for input in the British Nationality Act, but it doesn't necessarily work in our favor in all circumstances. So it says here that a person who is a British Overseas Territory citizen by virtue of a connection with the islands, by registration, by entitlement under the British Nationality Act, or any act preceding, amending, or replacing that act, shall, not may, it says shall, have the right to remain permanently in the islands and shall cease to have such right. So you can lose that right to remain permanently in the Cayman Islands if you're a British Overseas Territory citizen by registration or by entitlement under the British Nationality Act. So you can lose it if the person ceases to be a British Overseas Territory citizen. So if you no longer are a British Overseas Territory citizen, you cease to have it. I mean, that to me is almost obvious unless it has other legal meaning and ramifications. Also, if the person has, subsequent to the grant of the certificate, been ordinarily resident outside the islands continuously, and that word is important, continuously, for a period of 5 years, or acquires a domicile, that word is important as well, domicile, other than a domicile in the islands unless the cabinet otherwise is satisfied that the grant of the certificate was, unless the cabinet rules otherwise. So unless cabinet rules otherwise than the fact that you have obtained another domicile, if you have obtained another domicile. Now, domicile, in the old days, the legal argument, I'm not sure what it is now, I'm not a lawyer, but there were arguments that were put forward in relation to domicile, that domicile was also a state of mind, that it was always your intention to reside at a particular place. And not only was it your intention, but you actually ended up residing there, as well. In most legislation these days, they avoid the use of the word domicile because it can create legal nightmares, in certain instances as well. So if you acquire another domicile, that could mean if you're living in another country, and remember, you can have more than one residency, right? You can have more than one place of residence. Domicile is another story altogether. But if the person is considered to be domiciled in another country, now let's look at the whole issue of domicile. Let's say you go to another country and you obtain their citizenship as well. So you have your British Overseas Territory citizenship, you obtain another citizenship, you continue to reside in that other jurisdiction, buy a house there, raise a family there, working there, or whatever. It could be established that you have now changed your domicile from the Cayman Islands to somewhere else. That argument, could be made as well. So the whole issue of domicile. Now, again, one of the quirks in our system, our immigration laws in our system is so convoluted, and the reason it's convoluted is because we're governed by two different pieces of legislation: the British Nationality Act as far as citizenship is concerned, and Caymanian status and the right to reside in the Cayman Islands that has been devolved to us locally for us to deal with that. So it is quite possible that a person could have Cayman Islands passport, be a British Overseas Territories citizen. We have to allow them to reside in the Cayman Islands, but we don't necessarily have to allow them to work in the Cayman Islands. Now, of course, when those situations arise, it would be up to a court to determine that. Several callers, and that is what I have been calling for, the voice of the people. So let's hear the voice of the people, starting with our WhatsApp caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning.
Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning, sir. Go right ahead.
Concerning the motion that I was speaking to Mr. Tatum about, the motion that Mr. Mark Taggart brought to the floor of the House concerning banks in the Cayman Islands. I'm hoping that the government will work with the opposition with this motion, that laws can be put in place, that banks are not allowed to do as they please. Because it's very unfair, especially to our young people, when it comes to borrowing money from the bank. And the amount of money that they have to pay back. And I don't know what the monetary authority has to do with it.
But did you listen to Mr. Tatum's response on Wednesday morning when he responded to?
Yes, it sounds like the banks are willing to negotiate and to speak about this situation.
But he also said that he didn't believe that it should be left to the banks, basically to make those decisions or to determine what they would do, and that there should be some legislation in place that compels them in certain instances to do certain things.
Yes, the government cannot be afraid of these banks. I know there might be every one of those members of the assembly have bank loans. That may be the case also. But they cannot be afraid of these banks and putting laws in place that the banks are not able to make their own laws. Because that's not going to be fair to the people of the Cayman Islands. And when it comes to stress, depression, and anxiety, that is going to become the downfall of our young people if banks are allowed to continue to do as they please when it comes to loaning money to our young people. And it's also stressing out even people today. The majority of the people in the Cayman Islands have bank loans. So the banks are making money, but they should not be allowed to do as they please.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. And of course, I am a strong supporter of the credit union. So Cayman Islands Cooperative Civil Service Association, credit union. Sorry, I jumbled up the name there, but we all know it as a credit union. I'm a strong proponent and supporter of the credit union, and I would simply say to you, and they do offer mortgages now as well. They just had their annual general meeting. They have distributed dividends as well. I believe somewhere around about 3.85% dividends that you get on your shares, as well. And I think they also have a program where if you have been paying your loans on a regular basis all on time, that you get some sort of a rebate, at the end of the year or wherever as well. So as many of you as possible who have that ability should seek to join a credit union. My advice on that. Let's see if we can grab one more caller, Ms. Susan, before we go to the commercial break. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
You should have gone to the commercial break.
Yeah.
Allow me to elaborate with you because it don't seem like that you're getting too many calls today. So
no, we got several queued up. We got a few queued up.
Oh, you got some queued up?
Yes.
Oh, I heard you made mention of status and the double standard that we have with we playing to England and then to our local policies, and you made mention of allowing people to stay here but not to work.
Mm-hmm.
That OC is really the type of status that I'd like to give those that don't have to work, that don't allow them to work, those that don't have to work. That brings sufficient amount of funds to sustain themselves.
And provisions are in place in the legislation for that. As as we have residence for persons of independent means and things of that nature as well, investors and stuff.
Right. I know. So you know about it. We all make reference to the status grant. They run away, give away, or whatever they makes mention of. But see, in the Constitution states many ways you can retract the status, right? So I was wondering.
No, not in our Constitution.
Yeah, but if you make false information and all that.
All in our legislation, all in the law, not in the Constitution.
Yeah, in the law.
Yeah,
in the law.
Mm-hmm.
So see, I always wondered because of that ridiculous, you want to call it, giveaway, where people in prison, people off the island, people never had no idea that it was getting the status.
Mm-hmm.
When the other government, government in waiting, used that on the campaign trail, right?
Yep.
Big time, and they dethroned the government that was basically responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it when they got in, they didn't do an investigation into all the people that got it and say, yeah, you deserved it. No, and sort that out instead of that still being a cloud over our head where everybody, I talked about the NAU a while ago, are blaming that status grant for the high budget of the NAU also.
Mm-hmm. And they're right.
So I thought, like you say, we need to nip these things in the bud early.
Mm-hmm.
That should have taken place from time that next government got in power.
Well, what that government did was they then, as soon as possible, put provisions in there that cabinet could only grant a certain amount of status per year, and it had to be recommended by the status and PR board for the person, to have it. I believe that needs to be removed totally. If it's intended for those persons who find themselves in situations, because we still, despite what they said on the 2003 grants about trying to sweep up all of those persons who found themselves living in the Cayman Islands for long periods with no security of tenure, despite that, there were many people who still end up falling through the cracks, and we saw it. We've seen it in news release, quite recently as well. So, despite what they said about that never occurred. What I don't like about these cabinet grants is, like for instance, just the other day, the minutes of the cabinet were released, right? And they say, cabinet approved the granting of status to an individual, you don't get the name. The only time that you really get that name is when it goes down to Parliament. So to a certain extent, it still allows between the board and the cabinet to be selective in terms of those 4, if they grant those 4 per year, to be selective about that as well. I think it should be removed altogether. There should be no discretion for anyone to grant permanent status to anyone. They should all go through the same process. Lord Graham.
And special OC, by being granted by politicians, could look like a little biased too, you know?
Yeah. They should stay as far away from those things as they can.
As possible.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Lord Graham. Folks, we're going to go to a commercial break. Those callers who are on hold, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cineco and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cineco motor insurance. Learn more and register at cineco.ky. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
You're invited to tune in to Breeze Saturday, 7 p.m. for your Yesteryear Musical Thanksgiving Christmas Edition Extra. That's on Breeze Radio, 105.3 FM in Grand Cayman and 91.9 FM in Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. Your Yesteryear Musical Saturday evening at 7 o'clock on Breeze Radio.
The Super American Circus is back in Grand Cayman, December 5th to 7th at the Lions Center Christmas Village. Experience jaw-dropping aerial ballet, thrilling high-wire acts, acrobats, a BMX stunt team, comedy, clowns, and non-stop holiday magic. It's 45 minutes of fun and excitement for all ages, supporting acts of random kindness and one-to-one charities. 8 shows, 3 days. Get your tickets now at ticketsplus.ky or eventpro.ky. The Super American Circus, where holiday magic meets world-class entertainment.
This is For the Record.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record, platform for the voice of the people, seeking to hear from them as well. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning, Susie.
Hey, good morning. How are you? How are you doing?
Ramos speaking. Yeah, good morning. Excellent weather. The pipeline. Miss Susie, last I called you, I was telling you about the free President Trump in the continent, the South America and the US, right? And the referendum that about for you, right? The about burner on SIM. Give me 4 minutes, right? Reservation, wrap this up with time. Also, OC differently, right? Precisely. The Cuban president, I went to Cuba 2003 now, right? And when 19 had a blast, whatever, right? And now, President Miguel Diaz-Canel warn the U.S. against any military attack on Venezuela. Always say they are back in supportive. And it will be a repressive, incalculable consequences, repercussions for peace and stability in the region. Right? Came back close to Cuba. Came out right there north of us. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So see, we probably have a possible realm of winter war in the region, right? In this hemisphere. And the fragmentation, the automizing, back in 2011 with Democrats, President Obama and Hillary Clinton with Gaddafi, right?
Mm-hmm.
The housing in Libya, that was their strategy. This one now with Trump now, it's political compelling dynamics, right? Mr. OC, strategy, divergence. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So almost that regime change. And I come local now. Like, not high, but I know. I come on the same now. Right now, I'm Mr. OC, New Year's, I mean, when the ball drop New Year's, there will be a minimum wage in effect, indexation, right? 8.75, whatever. As I did a couple of years ago, this new nutrition, whatever, minimum wage in effect. So you watch that carefully. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, but see, I wrap up now. The referendum, right? It was stated to remove criminal status for small amounts on the herbs, right? Obviously, the nose never get it. You don't want to change. They fear to that. Who I vote for it, okay? 60% electors and voters voted for it. Decriminalization, indicating removal criminal sanctions, Mr. OC.
Mm-hmm.
Small amounts, defined by the law. In small amounts per se is 10 grams specifically. So, when you go to modernize herbs, if there are laws of Mr. OC, personal liberty, freedoms, and criminal justice reform. Okay, right now, she from burn again now with the Law Reform Commission.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I hear talk. I put it on Facebook, say because I am aware that they want to use a template for regional practices or whatever, but they didn't get to it. Stop procrastinating this thing. This is simple, right? You can't. This only we in your order, cultivate error, and we hello. Mr. Day is gone. Mr. Day is gone, boo. You know what I'm saying,
Yep.
Different.
Got you. Thank you very much, Rambo.
Hold on, last time.
Okay, go ahead.
Many administrations, regionally, internationally, they lively to macro outstanding performance. Okay? We can, you see the last admission, these go cheers, right? Cross section. This was over the weekend.
All right, take care, Rambo. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning, welcome. No more calls at this point in time. Okay, so okay, we have one coming in. I hope it's the person that I want to talk to. Otherwise, I would go to this separate. Caller, good morning, welcome to For the Record.
Mr. O.C.
Yes, sir. Morning. How are you?
I am good. Good morning, Cayman Islands. I just wanted to chime in a bit on some of the disturbing news coming out of the BRAC. I can't recall whether it was on your show or Talk Today with Dwayne.
Charlo.
No, when Dwayne was...
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. And I mentioned about this ad I have going, saying that the BRAC is poised for development. And my response is, yes, they are poised, but are they prepared? Now we're starting to see some of the ills of that unpreparedness. And like you said, if you don't nip it in the bud, it's going to only get worse. And I would venture to say that because of our economic policies, where we're depending so much on work permits that it will only get worse, as you said. It will get much worse before it gets better, which is very, very unfortunate.
Yep.
Let's take housing as an example. In our sort of free market economy, if there's a void, there's a demand, the private sector is supposed to come in and fill that demand with supply. Housing, as here in Grand Cayman, we don't see any of the private developers really going into quote-unquote affordable housing.
Right.
So where are they now to come in and fill that void? They're leaving it for government.
Mm-hmm.
If government gets into some other areas, they say, no, don't do that. Leave that for the private sector because the profit margin there is much greater. So saying that to say this, the entire Cayman Islands, we need a national plan based along the lines of Vision 2008, where we have a national plan and then the various arms of government, various ministries can then take that and implement the various strategies. That way it is, to me, it's measurable. We know whether we have achieved a goal or not. As it is today, you don't know whether what you're doing or your goals, whether you will have achieved them or not because there's no way of measuring it. So I know you probably have a few more calls, but I just wanted to chime in, especially about the
You still have about a minute left before we go to the break, so if there's something else that you want to add to that, please feel free to do so. What I would say is that the issues that we have in the BRAC, it is unfortunate that, we here in Grand Cayman are actually, to a certain extent, transferring them to the BRAC. So at the end of the day, when they start to point the finger and the blame game and everything, we have to take responsibility for what we're allowing to happen over there.
I agree. And if we go back to like the 70s, when the Bahamas sort of started going downhill, so that's when a lot of the business came to Grand Cayman or to the Cayman Islands, but primarily Grand Cayman. We didn't sort of examine a lot of the reasons why the Bahamas started going south, and we just adopted certain policies and laws to basically follow the same problems that they had, and now again we're starting to see the ills of those sort of ill-conceived policies and legislation.
Caller, before you go, I'm not sure whether or not you gave any input as far as the consultation on the changes to our Immigration Act. But what are your views, coming from the discipline that you, or the background that you were in? Right now, as we know that there's a housing crisis in Cayman, at least at certain levels, there's a housing crisis. And those who are comfortable, they have no concerns whatsoever about the crowding conditions and or the deteriorating conditions under which people are living. But right now, as far as accommodations for persons on work permit, it is something that is really, really not policed. In the granting of a work permit, do you believe that the employer should satisfy the relevant immigration board or authorities that they have secured adequate housing for the individual, and and it should be documented before a permit is granted in order for us to address some of the issues that we have as far as housing and overcrowding, that we hear that is taking place?
See, I totally agree. But again, with the lack of coordination between the various departments, ministries, and everybody sort of acting in their own little silo, we end up now that, again, the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing.
Mm-hmm. But we're told that's going to change.
Sorry?
I said we're told that that's going to be changed, that there's going to be lots of sharing of information and access to other government systems.
And that is very noble and welcomed, long overdue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, like most things on the islands, enforcement.
Yeah. Caller,
Yeah,
got to go to that break now. Sorry about that. I know I led you on after that, but phone lines will be open still. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
This hurricane season, don't wait until the last minute. Store before the storm. Stock up now with at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for a 3-day supply. And don't forget pets, the elderly, and nursing mothers. You'll need water for drinking and daily needs. And rest easy knowing the Water Authority is working hard to protect our water systems, keeping pumps, pipelines, and storage secure so you'll have safe, reliable water when you need it most. Be prepared. Store before the storm.
Le Classique.
Donna Marie, I'm calling to see what you're doing for Black Friday.
Hey, it's going to be a Black Friday weekend sale, Josie.
A weekend sale?
Yep, that's right. This Friday and Saturday, everything's going to be on sale.
Incredible, but you have so much new stock. Are you sure?
Yeah, I could put the new stock at 10%, 20, 30, even up to 50% off store-wide.
Wow, that is exciting. What time you open?
11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And where are you located again?
The Strand Shopping Center on West Bay Road.
Well, I on my way anyway.
See you there. Don't miss this one, K-Man.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record, hearing the voice of the people of the Cayman Islands. And we do have a caller on WhatsApp. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. How are you doing today, sir?
Good morning. I'm fine. And yourself?
Good. I'm the one you were waiting to hear from a while ago, so I'm here.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, first of all, thanks to the West Bay, all the government for the road improvements, enhancements to the West Bay roads.
Haven't been down there. Tell me what is it? What I haven't seen it yet. What's happening?
Well, our busiest downtown is the four-way intersection there by the Subway restaurant and the other merchants down there.
By the Cop Hall.
They have a
for those.
yes, they have a beautiful and that was always a center of activity in West Bay. They have a beautiful sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
They have a beautiful 4-way pedestrian crossing there now with lights and everything else. Unfortunately, up until last night, I saw cars speeding by as people were trying to cross the road with all the lights flashing. So, the drivers are more difficult than the technology. But around the district, there are other speed humps and things to calm traffic. So appreciate the action from the government in that regard.
That's great.
But go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm just commenting. Sorry for interrupting.
I also heard Mr. Glidden on his midday show a couple of days ago. I think it was Tuesday. He had a guest on who was a doctor. And this may sound negative, but it's Black Friday, so maybe it fits in. They were talking about Men's Month and the fact that the doctor was saying that there are a significant number of suicides every year in Cayman, by males specifically. And he also added, which was shocking to me, that the coroner does not record these as suicides. And as a result, of course, there are no valid statistics to indicate the extent of the problem. So I'm just saying that because, as Men's Month finishes especially, if you're going to identify or address a problem, the first thing to do is to acknowledge it at least with factual information.
Yep.
And of course, there are stigmas surrounding suicides in any country, but facts are facts. And if there are pressures, if there are reasons why we're heading in this direction, then we can't bury our heads in the sand. We have to admit and document it first and try to find the solutions. So I'll just throw that out in case anyone in government wants to
respond.
Correct those.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, for that. Any other calls there at the moment, Ms. Susan? Okay. So I was having a conversation off air with a friend during one of the commercial breaks, and it had to do with this whole concept of cabinet having the ability to grant Caymanian status. And of course, it has to be recommended by the Status and Permanent Residence Board for that to happen. Now, what can also occur there is there's nothing in, and let's put it this way, there's nothing in the legislation that prevents cabinet from saying to the board, hey, listen, the only way for this to happen is for you to send a recommendation to us. So we don't know whether or not the recommendation has been initiated by cabinet or whether or not it has actually been initiated by the Status and Permanent Residence Board. Be that as it may, then cabinet has the responsibility, once that recommendation is made, to convey that to our parliament, for the proper procedures to be followed. That person disagrees with me and feels that cabinet should not be inhibited, from being able, to do that. And when you look at other countries, and some people have equated Caymanian status to a certain extent to nationality. They're not one and the same. As a matter of fact, in Cayman, being granted Caymanian status, you have certainly more rights than a person who has the nationality of British Overseas Territorial citizen of the Cayman Islands, as well. But in the United Kingdom, or quote-unquote mother country, the cabinet nor the parliament has any provision. There are no provisions in the British Nationality Act for them to grant citizenship to anyone. There are certain, in the British Nationality Act, there are certain things that can be waived in terms of the requirements for residency and stuff like that, but they can't outright grant it. And my point and my position is that we should not allow elected officials in the Cayman Islands to have the ability to grant Caymanian status. And in those 2003 grants, remember now, there was no provision. Some will argue otherwise. There are no provisions in the law for Cabinet to grant Caymanian status. That is why they had to send all of those back to the board for ratification, a whole long list of them for them to be done en masse in terms of that, because there were no provisions in our legislation when those over 2,000 grants were made in 2003 as well. So absolutely no provisions, for that as well. Ms. Susan, we have a caller. Okay, yeah, we're going to take those callers. So after we go to our headline news, so we don't have to interrupt them. Very quickly then, let's say those of you who like to follow Caribbean news and politics, we see that in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that the new Democratic Party, NDP, and their leader, Godwin Fridays, who at age 66 led his party to victory in Thursday's general elections, winning 14 of the 15 parliamentary seats. The only person from the current government that was able to retain their seat was the Prime Minister, Ralph Gonsalves. And not taking any sides, but in some Caribbean countries, we have this whole thing of legacies being created in terms of persons remaining in leadership roles for years and years and years. Fortunate for us here in the Cayman Islands, we don't have that. And those of you who know any of our political history here in the Cayman Islands, in 1965, after that election, that was the first time in our electoral history that a Panton was not part of our legislative assembly in 1965. So we don't create legacies here in the Cayman Islands when it comes to leadership. Yes, politicians may serve for long periods of time, but we don't have one leader for any long period of time. That's one positive for our politics here in the Cayman Islands. With that, we're going to go to our headline news. When we return, we will accommodate those callers. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Back on November 15th, Cayman Brac police officers were sent to an incident at a local food truck where they say a man picked a fight with staff, making threats with what appeared to be a gun. During the investigation, police arrested a 40-year-old who was subsequently charged with possession of an imitation firearm, threats to kill, causing fear or provocation of violence, and harassment, alarm, and distress. In international news, one of the two members of the National Guard who were shot in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday has died. 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom succumbed to her injuries, while the second National Guard member, 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, is, quote, fighting for his life. Both were shot at close range in downtown D.C. on Wednesday. Police have arrested one suspect in the shooting, a 29-year-old from Afghanistan. The attack has prompted a range of announcements from the Trump administration aimed at curbing migration from Afghanistan and other countries. And at least 128 people have died in a devastating fire that engulfed multiple high-rise buildings in Hong Kong. A further 79 people have been injured in the city's deadliest blaze in more than 70 years, while dozens remain missing. The tower blocks had been undergoing renovations when the fire began. The cause of the blaze remains unclear, but officials today said that styrofoam placed on the outside of the windows facilitated its rapid spread. 3 people overseeing the renovations are under arrest for manslaughter, and authorities have launched a corruption inquiry. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. I think in my last comments there, I used the word legacy. And while that may be somewhat correct, what the word that I should have used, and I finally came to me, old age catching up with me, is that we do not create dynasties here in the Cayman Islands when it comes to politics. We see it happening in other jurisdictions in the Caribbean. No dynasties in the Cayman Islands. Let's go to our callers. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. What's up,
Good morning.
caller? What's up?
Good.
Hey, morning. How art thou?
I am fine. OC, how are you?
I'm good.
And OC, you keep saying that a friend was online with you.
You want me to tell him who it was next time?
It doesn't bother me.
Okay. But I won't do it without your permission, you see. You and I have so many good conversations, some that we agree, some that we disagree. And at the end of the day, we respect each other because we're all always arguing for the same thing.
That's right. That is correct. So it doesn't bother me at this age, OC, for 40 odd years now. The public and the people in this country knows where I stand, and I defend where I stand. You know that.
Yep.
Anyway, there were a couple things. I listened to you and Graham, and then you made some statements that I think I should remind you. The first one is you said that there wasn't any provisions in law in 2003 for cabinet to issue status. The law said that status would be issued by the board, 1, and 2, by cabinet. There wasn't any provision in there as to how much.
You sure? Okay.
Right. And we changed it to 4. We just had it in by cabinet, subject to going it to Parliament, and only 4 per year. That's what it was.
Okay. I got to double check that,
You know I got that 2003 one, right? Okay. The other one you said, you and Graham were saying that cabinet should not have the authority to issue. I that's what you and I disagreed on earlier. I believe that there are mitigating circumstances wherein cabinet has to exercise authority over the board. Now, OC, my position for very long has been no status, no Caymanian status, except by descent and marriage. I believe that there should be special provisions for cabinet to issue status. And I'll give you an example. You get a child who grew up in this country, is a very good athlete or whatever, and they're going to represent this country, but they can't represent this country unless they're Caymanians. Cabinet should have the authority in those conditions to issue a status to that child. Mind you, the parents may not be Caymanian, but that child is an individual. We proved that many years ago. See, when globally we change our passports, England, America, whatever, all of us, that you couldn't put a child on your passport anymore. So the child is recognized globally as an individual. That does not mean that the parent will get that status as a result of that child getting it. But the cabinet should have the authority. If you start taking away authority from cabinet, then you do not have a political democracy.
But there's a vehicle, Mr. McLean, there's a vehicle in place for cabinet to exercise authority over the boards without assuming the board's duties. Do it via directives. It can be done via directions to the board. Cabinet shouldn't have a hand in it, just like we recognized that when the old appeals process that we had in place, that we were appealing Caesar's decision on to Caesar. So when the boards refused a work permit, you know who they had to appeal to? Cabinet. Who did the directions come from in the first place in terms of, conditions under which a work permit should be granted? Coming from Cabinet, then Executive Council. So we recognize that Cabinet shouldn't be the person who makes the law, and then they're the ones that you certainly appeal to as well. So again, provisions to make the issue directions rather than cabinet and politicians having their hands in it. Give you one more example before I give the mic back over to you. I'm trying to remember his name, but there was a minister of Home Affairs in the United Kingdom who was blind. He was Minister for Home Affairs. It was revealed that he had influenced the Home Office staff to issue a visa for his helper. He had to resign his position. That is how far the UK goes in terms of ensuring that their cabinet members are not involved in these things.
Agreed. Oh, see, I agree with everything you say. Now listen, let's look at directives. Every law in this country that governs an authority or entity or board makes provisions for directives, but it's in general directives. For instance, the minister can take to cabinet a paper saying our policy will be to build the East-West Arterial. Okay? Cabinet approves that. And that directive, that's a directive, is sent to NRA. NRA, the minister says we are going to build the East-West Arterial. I am giving you 50 million this year, 20 next year, whatnot. He cannot then direct them on who to buy material from. That is the operational side of it.
But you can put those in regulations.
General directive that cabinet has.
But you can put them in regulation.
No, you can't.
In terms of how you go about how you go about
no,
building, you can't.
You know, it is. I am talking about a direct directive.
Okay, got you. Okay.
To NRA to build it based on the provisions in the regulation.
Okay, got you. Good.
Right. Cabinet should also then have authority over NRA and say we're not building that road. Anyway it goes, cabinet must have the final authority in this country. If you don't do that, you're going to have anarchy. Anywhere, in the case of England, you remember the Doad that his son died with Prince Diana? Cabinet overruled everybody up there to give him residency. You know?
Okay.
So you got to leave in the hands of cabinet something. That's like this acknowledgement letter, OC. And this may be a little different, but now, OC, we have a registry of births and deaths. Immigration has control over immigrants, and it's their responsibility as caregivers, caretakers of that information to store it over there. That's immigration, status, residency, work permit, what the other provisions for immigrants. Why should my sons, I got two sons, who were registered in this country, then go and have to get that birth certificate and go over to immigration, get a letter from them saying they came Onion. Each individual in this world has only one birth certificate to say where they were born. Cabinet now needs to make a directive to this country and all the departments. These are the provisions which prove you're Caymanian. You're born of Cayman parent, or you have been a judge, all those different things. You are Caymanian. I am saying today again, publicly, I got two sons, and not one of them are going to get an acknowledgement letter because they have their birth certificate. They have my birth certificate. That is sufficient to prove they are Caymanians. Okay? It will be a cold day in hell before I sign anything asking them to, out of immigration, to acknowledge my children as Caymanian. And Caymanians need to stop it.
Yep.
Caymanians need to stop, go and get it.
Yep.
No.
Silent protest, one way or the other.
Absolutely. No, OC.
Okay.
I understand. Just like the parents who came here and their child born here and got a certificate, birth certificate from registry, all they need is the parent birth certificate, and it'll show the parent weren't born in this country. One birth certificate was issued to that person, and that was somewhere wherever they came from.
Got you. Got to run. for a commercial break. Thank you. Thank you very much. When we return, I will share with our listeners what Section 73 of our Immigration Transition Act 2022 revision says in relation to directions to the Board and Immigration Appeals Tribunal. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Yeah, let me tell you, no AC when I was a boy. I still remember just how good an ice cold Coca-Cola was.
The part is, the coolest moms and dads always had Coca-Cola or parties.
The sound when you pop the top, and the fizzle, and that, after that first sip.
Coca-Cola, from generation to generation, that ice cold bubbly. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
This Black Friday, Reflections is bringing the heat with a blowout sale you can't afford to miss. Reflections have selected shoes from top brands like Adidas, Reebok, US Polo, Puma, Nike, and even work boots. Buy one pair for just $40 or get two for only $75. And it gets better. Grab selected Dockers footwear. Buy one pair, get the second pair free. Ladies, we've got you too. Choose from selected items of women's clothing. Buy one item for $15 or two for just $25. And save 50% off selected women's jeans. It's the Reflections Black Friday blowout sale. But hurry, deals are major and apply to select items only. Reflections, 506 Shen Road, across from Kirk Napa Auto Parts.
See yourself in reflections.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Hi, I'm Daryl Dakers, known as Cayman's native son. My friends and I are inviting you to the Cayman Brack Homecoming event on Saturday, December 13th, 7 p.m. at the Ashton Raleigh Center. And there is free admission with keynote speaker Daryl Dakers, performers Derek Dakersley, Vashta Bodden with her hit song Proud to be a Caymanian, 23-year-old speaker Brandon Jackson, Daryl Dakers with his hit song Another Sunny Day, and more. Come and celebrate Cayman Brack Homecoming and the evening dedicated to inspire and encourage young people and young people at heart.
Young people, you think that we don't care, but I want you to know that we are here, coming to the Brack for you.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Any callers on hold, Miss Susan? No callers on hold. So I promised to share Section 73 of the Immigration Transition Act 2022 revision, directions to boards and the Immigration Appeals Tribunal. The Cabinet may issue policy directions to the board and the Immigration Appeals Tribunal for their guidance in the exercise of their respective powers, duties, and functions under this Act. And it shall be the duty of the boards and the Immigration Appeals Tribunal to put into effect and carry out such directions. So that is where the Cabinet, after passing legislation, will have their input and their say in terms of decisions being made by boards or tribunals. Now, in my conversation with Mr. McLean, and he is right to a certain extent that I will concede, but I would say that it was overinterpreted. So when we look at the 1992, I just want to make sure that what it was called then, because of course, so here we go. It was called Immigration Law 13 of 1992, right? And in the section in relation to Caymanian status, I will share with you what it says in relation to that. Caymanian status, let me search for it. Yep, okay. So it says, and that's part 3 of the law at that point in time. Because remember now, even though the grants of status were done in 2003, the new legislation didn't come into effect until January of 2004. So we were basically operating under the 1992 immigration law at the time. And it says, a person shall for purposes of this law possess Caymanian status if such person has any of the following qualifications. If immediately prior to the coming into operation of this law he possessed such status under the repeal law. So that's the savings clause in there, for that. If immediately, if on the day after on which this law comes into operation, he acquires such status under Section 14, and Section 14 speaks about certain things. Then, the other part is if after the day on which the law comes into operation, he is granted Caymanian status by the board under Section 15. Or, and this is the one now, if the governor, and in this particular case, it would be, I think I would have to look at the clause that explanatory provisions that gives a definition, or the definition section that says what governor means, whether or not it means governor in executive council, because that's what it was called then. So it says, if the governor, in his opinion, finding, and this part here is important, this phrase is important, finding special reason for so doing, grants such status to him, an individual, not a whole group of people, an individual. So, yes, provisions in the law at that time, Section 13, subsection D of the Immigration Law, 1992, if the governor, in his opinion, finding special reasons for so doing, grants such status to him. Now, folks, again, and I'm probably repeating myself, I'm sure that I explained this once before, that all of this came about by accident. And we have a saying in Cayman, and it's so not only in Cayman, it's everywhere, and it may sound a little bit pejorative, but they say monkey see, monkey do, right? There was a particular individual who they wanted to recognize for certain things, philanthropic deeds and everything else, and they wanted to grant permanent residence to that person. It was done. Then it was done for a few more, and then ventured a little further, and let's grant Caymanian status. All excuses were made. Then we heard if we didn't do it because of the length of time that people were living in the Cayman Islands, the UK was going to impose new legislation on us. That was one of the arguments. When that didn't stick on the wall too much, our quincentennial coming up, why don't we grant 500 statuses, for that as well. Of course, that 500 ended up to being over 2,400 and something, I believe it was, as well. But even, my argument would be that even if Cabinet or EXCO could grant status by virtue of the provisions of Section 13, subsection D, special reasons for him to grant it, that was the argument. If that was the section under which those grants were made, then it was excessive, even though no numbers are given here. It certainly was excessive at the end, of the day. So subsection D did grant. It says, if the governor, in his opinion, finding special reasons for so doing, grants such status to him. And then it goes on to say, and he shall continue to possess and enjoy Caymanian status unless and until he loses it under Section 18. Of course, that has all been changed in new legislation in terms of loss as well. We're going to go to our commercial break, and I'm going to look under the section that gives a definition and see what governor means, but I'm sure that it wasn't the governor acting in their sole capacity, that it would have been the governor in EXCO. But let's see what that says. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
She hear clunk and our car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superhero shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Big news at Cayman Airways. We've added more flights to Miami and airfares start from just $80 US each way plus taxes. You heard that right. This fare is less than the taxes and fees. Whether you need a day trip or an afternoon flight on a Friday, Cayman Airways has you covered for that Miami trip with fares as low as $80 US each way. Some conditions apply, and these cheap seats are limited, so hurry and book your seats today at CaymanAirways.com. More flights, more trips, more Miami with Cayman Airways.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me, and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. we really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
The wait is over. The crown awaits. The Lions and Leos Club of Grand Cayman proudly present the 42nd Miss Teen Cayman Islands pageant returning August 8th, 2026. Are you bold, talented, and ready to shine? If you're between the ages of 15 and 18, this is your moment to step forward, showcase your brilliance, and embrace the journey of a lifetime. Visit the Miss Teen Cayman Instagram and Facebook pages for registration details. The crown is calling. Will you answer? Brought to you by the Lions and Leos Club of Grand Cayman.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Less than half an hour to go in the show. We want to hear the voice of the people of the Cayman Islands. So I promised that I would look into, I think I call it the definition section, but it's actually called the interpretation section of the legislation that I was talking about, Law 13. And it says in relation to governor, it says governor means the governor in council. So it would not have been the governor acting in his sole authority, but it would have been the governor in council. Which I'm going to switch and talk about something else, all related to the Cayman Islands. So the Joint Ministerial Council meeting was held. I think the government has circulated photographs with the various leaders of the overseas territories, along with the minister for the overseas territories. What I haven't seen circulating yet is any communique that would have been issued as a result of the Joint Ministerial Council meeting and what had been agreed upon by the various parties. We know that in the past, and I'm sure that it still obtains today, also that there are what we call bilateral meetings that are held as well, which means that while they will meet as a group, each overseas territory will also meet person to person. The representatives or the delegations will meet with the minister to discuss their respective issues. And of course, during the meeting itself, then as a whole, the overseas territories, will talk about things that are common amongst them. But they also get that opportunity for the bilaterals. Haven't seen anything yet, and I'll check my emails to make sure to see whether or not any releases have come out recently in terms of any decisions that may have been made at the Joint Ministerial Council meeting. I was looking at the photographs in there, and I didn't see David Burt of Bermuda. I'm not sure whether or not there was somebody else representing him, but I didn't see a photo of David Burt there as well. But it will be interesting to see, what was agreed upon. Of course, the whole issue, I'm sure, of the public register and the access to the public register of companies in the jurisdiction is one topic that was probably discussed as well. We know that I don't believe that Minister Michael Miles was part of the delegation, but we're having this, I wouldn't call it a battle, but I guess for want of a better word, we're having this battle, this conflict between British Nationality Act and our immigration legislation. And we have heard in the past other ministers for the overseas territories, in particular Baroness Scotland in the 90s when she was here, and talking about, when we spoke about status and everything, she told us that our problem was permanent residence, the way that we grant permanent residence, because permanent residence in the Cayman Islands is the stepping stone to everything as far as naturalization is concerned, as far as Caymanian status is concerned, when you link naturalization to the ability to be able to be granted Caymanian status. And I'm curious to know whether or not we have sounded out the UK, because you've heard me in the past speak to the fact that we really don't have any input, as far as I know, any input into the crafting or amendments to the British Nationality Act. We had a British Nationality Act in 1948, and that stayed into effect until the 1st of January 1984, I believe, 83, 84. And there have been certain amendments since then. But I don't recall the British government ever coming to us and say, hey, folks, we're looking to change the British Nationality Act as far as the ability to obtain British Overseas Territory citizenship, which will affect each of the overseas territories. Don't ever recall them asking or views on that. And my question is whether or not we have or would seek to approach the British government to see whether or not there would be any appetite for making amendments to the British Nationality Act. Because when British citizenship was granted to the overseas territories, there was the combination of the overseas territories population was something like, it was less than 150,000, probably even less than 120,000 population in all of the territories. Remember now, this was in 2002. So that's 23 years ago. That is why we could argue to the British at that time that they could not make citizenship reciprocal, meaning that and the right of abode reciprocal. Because while we would have the right of abode in the UK once we activated our British citizenship by applying for a passport, we didn't have the capacity to be able to absorb populations coming from the United Kingdom to live here in Cayman if we'd made it reciprocal. So we were able to argue that because of the impact, of that. But other than that, we had no input. So, my question would be whether or not we have approached the UK government to see if we could have some changes to the British Nationality Act and the granting of British Overseas Territories citizenship because it affects the UK now. Before, when it was less than 120,000 inhabitants, that population has increased considerably. And we see what is happening now. Many persons who come from an original jurisdiction with their own nationality come to the Cayman Islands. When they're granted permanent residence, then qualify to become a British Overseas Territory citizen. After a period of time, can then apply for registration to become a British citizen. So they have the right to reside in the UK then when they become a British citizen, and they may move there. But at the same time, they still have their British Overseas Territories citizenship as well. And while there are provisions in our immigration law for a person who has permanent residency to lose it if they are no longer resident in the Cayman Islands for a continuous period of 5 years, they still hold their British Overseas Territory citizenship while they're in the UK as well. Some of them may be gainfully employed in the UK, and some of them may be living off the dole in the UK as well. So the UK needs to understand now that if we don't put some more guardrails on the granting of British Overseas Territories citizenship, that it directly affects them. And that is when you will see changes made, when the UK realizes, hey, this isn't just, they're not just staying in Cayman anymore when they're granted British Overseas Territory citizenship. They're taking that giant leap forward, applying for registration as a British citizen and obtaining that British passport and the right to reside in the UK. We know it is happening. The numbers we don't know, but as soon as the British realizes that it is impacting them, believe you me, we have seen now some of the measures, some of the steps that they're taking in terms of restricting immigration into the United Kingdom. They will do something about it. So again, a lot of talk I made there, but going back to my original point, when will we know what discussions took place in the United Kingdom as far as the Joint Ministerial Council is concerned, what has been agreed upon, what was discussed. We have not received any communique in that respect. And I'm not being critical of anyone, but if you want to keep the people informed, if you want transparency in the whole process, tell us what is going on over there. We hear, about all of the functions that are taking place, but we have not heard anything about the decisions that have been made in the Joint Ministerial Council. Usually a communique is issued after. We know in the past that we had a premier who refused to basically agree on the communique because the Brits wanted to put it in a certain way, as well. Don't know if that's what happened this time around, but it would be instructive to see something coming from our delegation in relation to things that were discussed and any agreements that were arrived at that they can disclose to us as well. With that, we're going to take our last commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
The Paramount Carpet Pre-Christmas Super Sale is back on Cayman Brac. Friday, November 28th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, November 29th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy savings store-wide, including 15% off all in-store items, up to 25% off select carpet and tiles, and $5 and $10 boxes of select wall and floor tiles. Find us at Paramount Carpet, 342 Spot Bay Road, Cayman Brac, the perfect spot for holiday home shopping.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount Carpet.
The Super American Circus is back in Grand Cayman, December 5th to 7th at the Lions Center Christmas Village. Experience jaw-dropping aerial ballet, thrilling high-wire acts, acrobats, a BMX stunt team, comedy, clowns, and non-stop holiday magic. It's 45 minutes of fun and excitement for all ages, supporting acts of random kindness and one-to-one charities. 8 shows, 3 days. Get your tickets now at ticketsplus.ky or eventpro.ky. The Super American Circus, where holiday magic meets world-class entertainment.
You're invited to tune in to Breeze Saturday, 7 p.m. for your Yesteryear Musical Thanksgiving Christmas Edition Extra. That's on Breeze Radio, 105.3 FM in Grand Cayman and 91.9 FM in Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. Your Yesteryear Musical Saturday evening at 7 o'clock on Breeze Radio.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're in the last leg of the show this morning, about 10 minutes, very quickly. Our birthday shout out here. I've been asked to please send a very special birthday greetings to Miss Sonia Christian and her granddaughter Carissa Christian as well. Please tell them that we all love them very much, and they are very special to us. So Miss Sonia Christian and her granddaughter, Carissa Christian as well. Let's go to the phone lines. The landline, Miss Susan, the landline? Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, Mr. Connor, I was listening to that conversation with you and Mr. McLean.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to say that I'm not splitting a child, just saying I agree with both of you said, but about different things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I agree with what he said regarding a Caymanian and their birth certificate. I do agree with that. Now, I'm with him on that one. And I do agree with you that Cabinet should not have this authority. So I guess someday they'll have to figure out how they're going to work that out. And also, I must tell you that I tuned in a little bit late, and I heard one of your callers refer to something that is happening with the BRAC. I missed whatever that is. I missed that. I don't know if it's some development or something that's going on there.
I think it has to do with the traffic situation. With the we see that the police had an operation going on recently. Drugs seized, monies seized as well. And, we're getting, a lot more negatives coming, from the BRAC in terms of the quality of life over there. And my opening comments to that was if we don't nip it in the bud. And, a lot of it, we're actually exporting a lot of it from here in Grand Cayman over there. And, we have no one to blame but ourselves.
Well, I don't know that they're exporting it, because I'll tell you what I keep hearing from visitors. Some of them don't come back to Grand Cayman. They go to the BRAC now. And we have to blame ourselves for, because of course, what we were known for, what people came back every year for, we're no longer that. And for some reason, every administration seems to not realize that is the problem. And they continue with this overdevelopment. Anyway, but I just want to put in my 50 cents worth with this whole proving that you're a Caymanian thing. I mean, to me, that's almost laughable. Where else in the world does a person have to go and prove that this is, when they're born there and that's their nationality, that they have to actually go and prove that that's what they are, when other people can come and they can get it, and then it's okay for them. Anyway, Mr. Connor, I know that you passed your birthday greetings, but I would like to say happy birthday to my twin siblings, Andre and Sandra, who are celebrating their birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday to them. Happy birthday.
Yes, and may God bless them both to see many more to enjoy with us.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller, for that. We have a few more callers that we're going to grab. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay up on the North Coast. Enjoy the nice, fresh sea breeze off the ocean. So very nice. Yeah. But I was just listening to the debate last night of what they was discussing about the Cayman Islands, and they came across this thing about, if I understood it right, was like $500,000 for anyone that is caught feeding wild chickens. Are you aware of that?
No, I didn't follow that. I didn't follow that one up. I'll have to rely on you for info on that. That was that was during the budget during the budget debate.
Last night, yeah, during the debate last night, different things about the environment and what have you. It was on the radio last night from I think 7 till probably 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that would have been a replay of the proceedings.
Oh, right, exactly.
Yeah.
The point I'm making is this. Dr. Lockhart also spoke last night about the problems with the kids and all of the problems we have here with the mental issues and what have you. And he also mentioned, like I said, and other people see it as well, a lot of that is affecting the people mentally is all of this generic modified food that we're eating. You're feeding the chickens with hormones and steroids, and we gobbling it down like it's the best thing after cheese. Now, your chickens that is freelancing wild in the bush, why it is in a hurry that you want to penalize somebody for the chickens when other countries a wild chicken is top of the line for them to consume? So I say that to say this. Unless Caymanians really open their eyes and challenge some of these issues that we are facing, all of us are going to be eating out of containers, packed food pretty soon, and we are going to be eliminated shorter than we think. So I just wanted to say that. I could say more, but you got more calls. I'll call in another day and add a little more to it. Okay?
Thank you very much, caller. You have a great weekend as well. Have a excellent weekend.
Thank you.
Other calls, Miss Susan? Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning. No more calls. No more calls, I'm told. Okay. I was flipping through the Immigration Transition Amendment Validation bill to see whether or not there was any provisions in there in relation to this whole identity as far as Caymanians are concerned. And of course, there's a valid argument in terms of that if you're in possession of a voter registration, that should be sufficient. We know that financial institutions would not accept that. That at one point in time there was an argument that if it didn't, because it didn't have an expiry date, that was the issue, or was it the other way around? Anyway, they were found an argument, for that, as well. And let me explain one thing, because there's the belief, and it's quite possible that there may be persons on our electoral rolls, on the register of electors, who may have been grandfathered in and may have been on there when the requirements were that you only had to be a Commonwealth citizen and residing in the Cayman Islands for a given period of time, and you were eligible to vote. Folks, all of that changed in 1984. I believe it was 84 or 88, when there were some constitutional changes there as far as qualification for electors, right? If those persons were grandfathered in the 1980s, right? And 40 years down the line, at least 40 plus years down the line, by now they would be full-fledged Caymanians as far as our immigration law is concerned and the definition of Caymanians. They would be full-fledged Caymanians today. So my argument is that I don't believe if there are any, it must less than a handful of persons who would be in possession of a voter registration card who now would not be a Caymanian. That would be my argument. And I stand to be proven wrong on that. So again, no reason why a voter registration card should not be declared in legislation by our government to be valid proof of being a Caymanian. The margin for error is very small, if any. Very small, if any. And don't forget, we should have eliminated all of that in the 2003 grants. Because one of the reasons given for the 2003 grants was there were persons living in the Cayman Islands for long periods of time and had no security of tenure, and the intention was to bring them into the fold, sweep them up, grant them Caymanian status. We know now that it went far, way beyond that, but that was the case. Folks, that is it for this morning. We've reached that time. I want to thank all of those who contributed. Hopefully we will hear, because we know that the Premier is traveling, to other places as well, on to India, then on to the United States as well. But we know under other administrations as well, they had their press secretaries and others who would be, as a matter of fact, one of the persons who was really, really good at that was the now Member of Parliament for Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum. He was always busy at these meetings, taking notes and issuing releases and stuff like that. So it would really be good for us to know what transpired at the Joint Ministerial Council meeting, as well. If we could hear about that, that would be excellent. Again, thank you all for tuning in this morning. It was great to hear the voice of the Cayman Islands, the people of the Cayman Islands. We're going to continue to make sure to ensure that your voice is heard. Don't forget, we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and we should extend a helping hand to them. If we can't do that, then we should donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want, or even those who crave. So have a great day. Have a great weekend. The giving season is coming upon us, as well. Don't forget those in our neighboring countries who have been adversely affected by Hurricane Melissa as well. And in our busy day-to-day schedule, we should not forget them. Have a great day, folks. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Yesterday,
today,
always and forever.